All kinds of stuff on fire. Just lost power down here on the hill.
10-4.
I think the subject's still trapped, and it's been shut down both directions. Get your ass out of my lane. Let's get the hell out of here.
Chemtrec, this is Laura. How can I help you?
Well, it's a resource for emergency responders to get information about hazardous materials. Because they are connected with the industry, it gives you immediate access to the subject matter experts of the chemical product that you're dealing with.
Several years ago, there was an incident where I had several box trucks that ran into each other. During the incident, all we had was a placard, and then we had a manufacturer. We called Chemtrec. They contacted the manufacturer. They were able to provide us not only the information about the chemical, but also with the scientists that made the chemical. Even better, they provided the company's responders to come to the scene and assist us during the incident. What a benefit that proved to be.
Chemtrec, the Chemical Transportation Emergency Center, is an initiative of the American Chemistry Council and has been a leader in the hazmat response community since 1971.
Chemtrec is first and foremost a resource available to emergency responders having to deal with incidents involving dangerous goods and hazardous materials.
24-hour-a-day call center that any first responder can call into during a chemical emergency. They will provide them with a tremendous amount of first responder immediate information.
They got access to that resource through a 24-hour telephone number. Chemtrec could be working on their behalf while they're dealing with other priorities at the incident scene. And Chemtrec is then able to provide that information for them when they need it.
The ability to be able, anywhere in the world just about, to take your cell phone and go, I need help and I need it now. And have somebody answer that phone call and say, hold on, let me pull it up on the computer, we'll email it to you. Do you want it in an email, or do you need me to fax it? Or do you need me to sit here and talk to you through this because you're someplace you can't even get to that?
Chemtrec became operational in 1971 and has proven repeatedly to be the most comprehensive and immediate emergency response information resource available. Today, Chemtrec is fully equipped and qualified to support responders involved in hazmat incidents. A call to Chemtrec's emergency phone number is generally the first call for help during many hazmat incidents, and Chemtrec is used as the central point of contact for all parties involved: first responders, manufacturers, shippers, consignees, carriers, and government agencies. Chemtrec's emergency service specialists can provide immediate guidance and information through material safety data sheets and many other resources. Linked to the world's largest on-call network of chemical, medical, toxicological, and hazmat experts, this specialist can establish direct communication between these experts, Chemtrec personnel, and the responders at the scene to provide consistent and accurate information that is critical to the successful response to the incident. Chemtrec's emergency service specialists have extensive combined hands-on experience in handling hazardous materials. Each specialist undergoes hazmat certification training, regardless of their prior experience, even though most come to Chemtrec with extensive emergency response backgrounds. To better help responders on the scene, an experienced chemist remains on call 24/7, as well as physicians and toxicologists. Chemtrec also has access to company product information and their emergency response experts, as well as state-of-the-art tracking and monitoring tools provided in partnership with certain carriers and manufacturers. Chemtrec offers technical and emergency response information on all classes of hazardous materials. Utilizing a state-of-the-art computerized document storage and retrieval system, Chemtrec maintains a constantly updated catalog of material safety data sheets obtained directly from the manufacturing organizations and shippers. Recognizing the global nature of commerce, Chemtrec's translation capabilities can manage assistance in over 170 languages. Chemtrec's typical response assistance includes incidents involving industrial spills, leaks, transportation accidents, and releases. The safe transport of hazardous materials through use of specialized containers is controlled through rigorous government regulations. However, accidents do happen, and the immediate access to comprehensive knowledge of the substances involved is key to a successful and safe response. When an incident occurs, a chain of events typically takes place. The initial 911 call is made. Emergency responders arrive on the scene and gather information about the nature of the incident to properly assist in rescue and containment. Chemtrec is called to provide information about contents and treatments, and in some cases, access to emergency response containment teams. Chemtrec is always available to anyone needing assistance during a hazardous materials emergency at any time, free of charge. Chemtrec is not a government agency.
Chemtrec is owned by the chemical manufacturers. It belongs to the ACC, the American Chemistry Council, as a service to the first response community.
Chemtrec does not provide its own on-scene emergency response teams, but does maintain a nationwide network of emergency response contractors that can be contacted by the responders on the scene.
Well, the value that the emergency responders get from using Chemtrec range from the depth of MSDS and technical information about the thousands and thousands and thousands of chemical products and hazardous materials that are shipped and transported and manufactured every day.
Chemtrec has the ability to reach out beyond the resources we have to help put us in touch with experts and scientists and other subject matter experts.
They have extremely diligent call handling activities. They have extremely capable call specialists
that will give that information, advice, and in the meantime as well, get more expertise on its way to help that first responder.
Chemtrec works with shippers and manufacturers on a regular basis, which is really good because it gives that handshake, that partnership that the first response community needs. It opens up the door right away, so there aren't the issues of introductions when we're on an incident scene.
A call to Chemtrec's Emergency Operations Center initiates a series of actions. An emergency responder at the scene calls the Chemtrec toll-free number. A Chemtrec emergency service specialist answers immediately. The specialist gathers critical information from the responder about the incident, including caller information, description of the incident, conditions at the scene, and the actions taken, personnel injury and exposure data, known information about the material involved, including shipper and consignee information, container information, and specific information that the responder on scene needs from Chemtrec. For example, material safety data sheets and medical help.
I need some help bad.
During the early moments of the incident, emotions can run high. Callers to Chemtrec's toll-free number range from focused, experienced hazmat responders to anxious, non-emergency personnel. Chemtrec specialists are experienced in managing a wide variety of callers. After the on-scene information is gathered, the specialists provide the emergency responder with key data and information on handling the substances involved, personal protective equipment requirements, evacuation suggestions, mitigation and containment procedures. The specialists will retrieve the necessary material safety data sheets from Chemtrec's extensive library and will forward that information if needed to the scene via telephone, fax, or email. The specialists can assist with medical emergencies through immediate access to physicians and toxicologists who can provide critical information to the emergency medical technician or treating physicians at the scene or at receiving medical facilities. The specialists can contact the shipper to provide real-time linking services between the manufacturer of the product and the responders at the scene to aid in containment and activate mutual aid networks that have been created to respond to specific types of chemical products. After the incident is contained, Chemtrec specialists document the incident response for subsequent reporting to the manufacturer or shipper. Chemtrec's comprehensive computer-based tracking system and telephone call recording and monitoring system provides the basis for immediate and accurate reports. As the chemical industry continues to innovate and evolve, and as Homeland Security remains a priority in defending against and responding to threats, Chemtrec continues to evolve and respond with greater resources, faster retrieval and response systems, protocols, and information delivery channels. Chemtrec's website contains a wealth of information and resources for emergency responders, including the Guide for Emergency Responders. The guide describes how Chemtrec handles emergency incidents, what assistance is provided, and what information will be requested from the caller, and how Chemtrec helps emergency responders better prepare for emergencies by using the Hazardous Materials Exercise Drill Program. Chemtrec already has established long-standing international relationships. But as our global economy becomes more commonplace and new participants enter the market, Chemtrec is building new relationships with international manufacturers, shippers, and emergency response organizations. And Chemtrec is always exploring new partnerships with leading companies and government agencies, all in an effort to ensure that public safety is never compromised, and that Chemtrec remains true to its mission
to become the most effective emergency communication center in the world.
There are a wide range of emergency response capabilities out there, from the very basic awareness level all the way to highly trained hazardous materials response teams. Chemtrec is able to provide information regardless of the level of training. Being able to talk to a chemist at from the shipper or producer, to me, is an invaluable resource that's available even at that high level. And of course, the other important role that Chemtrec plays is the shipper and manufacturer are aware that an incident has occurred with their product and begin working with the carrier, for example, if it's a transportation incident, to bring the necessary resources to the scene that might be required to mitigate it.
We will be successful when every emergency responder knows Chemtrec's number by heart and takes advantage of the resources that we have to offer.
1-800-424-9300 comes off the lips of every responder today. It's advertised, it's shown, we find it on the vehicles. But Chemtrec works by taking all the information from the chemical manufacturers and putting it in a package. That package is available to that call taker, who then gives the information to the responder.
To ensure you are better prepared to handle the next hazardous materials incident, take a minute now to add Chemtrec's toll-free number to your cell phone. This is the one number you'll want to keep close. For information on Chemtrec's complete range of services, call or visit our website. Chemtrec, the right information at the right time.